What is up YouTube, Thatsa here, and today I'm super excited to bring you guys today's video where we're going over all of the new move pool additions for Crown Tundra Pokemon Sword and Shield. I get a ton of people asking me almost every day, it'd be really cool if we could change this Pokemon's base stats, or change this Pokemon's ability, or change this item to do this. And I always have to be the voice of reason and tell those people, hey, you know what, like, Pokemon isn't like League of Legends, Pokemon's not like Super Smash Brothers, there's not going to be some patch that just changes a Pokemon to be what you want it to be. The number one thing Pokemon does to actually patch their games, the closest thing we actually have, is things like this DLC and new generations where Pokemon's move pools get updated with new things like move tutors and with just new moves kind of existing. It really changes the way that Pokemon play while still keeping their base stats intact. You know, I don't want to go on a huge tangent and say that Pokemon's never change base stats, but it's so rare. Happens once or twice every 5 or 6 years, I would say. So never try and get your hopes up for stats changing or wishing your opponent or wishing your Pokemon had just a little bit more speed. The best thing you can hope for is thinking of really cool new moves that your Pokemon can get, and hopefully building your teams with that in mind. Like, up until this generation, Encore was a very specific move, and only a few Pokemon really got it, and it was actually really good. And now that it's a TR, a lot of Pokemon get it. So just because you think like, oh man, I really wish this Pokemon got this move, I'm not going to say don't get your hopes up, because who knows, like in Generation 9, or even, you know, probably it would be Generation 9 or like Gen 4 remakes, we might get like Fake Out as like a TR or a TM or a Move Tutor, and that would completely change Pokemon, and it might make it more fun, it might make it not more fun, but you know, wishing for new moves is really cool, and I want to direct you guys to the question of the day, and that is, what new move pool additions are you most excited about? You can answer it if you've already looked at this list, which I'll be leaving in the description of this video. This is from Smogon, or you can, you know, just leave it after you've watched this video, and let me know what you think the coolest new move pool additions are. I will say this video is probably going to be more directed at VGC, but I will be covering some Pokemon like Genesect for a little bit that are mostly relevant in the singles format. So to start things off, let's look at the returning Ubers, because this is from Smogon. And yeah, let's see. It looks like they've bolded every single thing that they think is extremely relevant, and they've, you know, not really bolded the things that aren't relevant. So even while you can see Blaziken gets the Isle of Armor Tutor, Coaching, and Scorching Sands, Coaching is really cool on Blaziken, I think, because it gets that speed boost, so you can continually boost your teammates while still being a threat yourself, so it's kind of like a prankster Riolu. But it still has like the damage to be really relevant, like because it's on a Blaziken. That's actually really, really cool. I also think Scorching Sands is kind of cool because special Blaziken, I think Blaziken gets like 110 base special attacks, so Scorching Sands is actually really, really cool on there. They should have bolded that, in my opinion. Also, bolding Aura Sphere could have been really cool. I think special Blaziken is probably going to be better than regular Blaziken. Similar to how like special Talonflame is like really good right now. You can't intimidate the Blaziken, and it has such a high base special attack. Now it's getting actually good coverage moves. It might be pretty good, but close combat is a really big deal for Blaziken. I think that's so nice, just because it was so reliant on like high jump kick or superpower before. That's not the sauce. A lot of the Pokemon that were relying on high jump kick got access to close combat now, so that's really nice. So Blaziken getting close combat, getting a secondary stab, good for Blaziken. I don't know if that makes it super relevant, but good for Blaziken. Dialga, we're not going to talk about the Ubers as much, the restricted mons, but Heavy Slam's okay. It already got Iron Head. Iron Head's usually better because you can't Heavy Slam a Dynamax mon. Breaking Swipe's kind of cool. I do like that move, especially on like a bulky Dialga. Body Press is nice, but it's not as good as you think. The only Pokemon that really get like value off Body Press are things that go like all in on it with like Iron defenses, and then you need a recovery move to usually make that work. So you go like Iron defense, recovery move, Body Press, and then like maybe like the reason why Ferrothorn can do it so well is because it has Leech Seed. The reason why Corviknight can do it so well is because it has Roost and secondary coverage. Dialga doesn't really have those, so it is not really great with Body Press. And Scale Shot's kind of cool, but I wouldn't say it's relevant. The only reason why it would be relevant is because Dialga, it has like a decent attack and a decent special attack, even though it's more of a bulky Pokemon, but like its physical options are like Dragon Claw, you know, so it's, I guess it's okay that it gets Scale Shot. Not that I would really want to use it, because you don't want to lower your defense. But I guess you might want that speed. Dialga doesn't really have any ways to get it a higher speed, so I don't know, maybe we'll see. I'm spending too much time on Dialga. Genesect, I'm not like a huge fan of this Pokemon just because it's usually always gets banned and like immediately. I have won a lot of tournaments. I've won a lot of singles tournaments with Genesect back when it was legal, back in like Gen 5. Looks like it gets a Blaze Kick, so you don't have to use the event one anymore, which is super nice. Other than that, Leech Life's a pretty good physical move. Remember, Genesect gets the download ability, so it's just like Porygon Z. When you send that thing out, it gets a special attack or an attack boost, and it has a massive attack and special attack stats. So the way people like to play it is they go like, they pick one, they go Scarf it, and they go like, cool, I'm going to have like Ice Beam, Flamethrower, and then like they'll go Leech Life now, and then like maybe a flash cannon. So they'll have like a mixed sweeper Genesect is actually really cool. All right, both the Giratinas, looks like they're getting Breaking Swipe, Poltergeist, and Dual Wing Beat. I love this. This is such a good addition for restricted formats. Poltergeist means Giratina can finally have a ghost attack. Like, yeah, you had Phantom Force, but that was a 2-turn thing. Like, there was nothing really separating Giratina from, like, Dragapult, in my opinion. Like, Dragapult had the total package. It had same Phantom Force, just like Shadow Force from Giratina. It had access to really big damaging dragon attacks. It also had the addition of, what is that? It had the addition of, like, Dragon Darts, which Giratina didn't have. It was faster, it was stronger, like, it had so much more going for it than Giratina, but giving Giratina Poltergeist and Dual Wing Beat means it can Airstream. Like, Giratina O is going to be so much better with Poltergeist and Dual Wing Beat. I love that. That's such a good addition, and see, that's the type of thing that, like, adding these new moveset things to kind of update the game. You don't need to change base stats, you don't need to change abilities. Changing 2 moves is going to completely change how Pokemon's played. Giratina base form is still going to be played very bulky if people want to play it, which is how I'm probably going to play it. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. But the Giratina O form that's a little bit faster is going to be a lot more aggressive with like Poltergeist and Wing Beats. So that's super, super cool to see. That thing's going to this thing's going to actually be good. Like this thing with like a coaching Pokemon is like a coaching Rio is going to be freaking good Pokemon. Because Giratina O with Levitate has a great matchup for Groudon and Kyogre, which are the best restricted mons. We're talking about assuming a restricted format coming in 2021 or 2022. Groudon getting high horsepower is actually really nice. Only because there have been times in the past where, you know, Groudon goes for those big Precipice Blades and Earthquakes, where Groudon actually gets completely walled by like Celesteela's using like Wide Guard, and then it can't ever hit them. So I actually think it's really nice that it actually gets the high horsepower, just so you can go for a little bit stronger single target ground attack instead of Stomping Tantrum. So it actually is relevant, and also Scorching Sands is super relevant. Yeah, all Special Groudons, which is you know, a very, very popular set. Special Groudon is super, super popular because it can use Eruptions. Scorching Sands is actually pretty cool. I don't know if I'll really be using Scorching Sands, but Earth Power is a great move, and Scorching Sands is also a very good move. It's just very dependent. I think the way I like to see it is like, if you need to use Earth Power to deal damage, and you get Earth Power and Scorching Sands, if you do not stab the Earth Power, you should use Earth Power. So, case in point, like if I was using a Heatran, right? And Heatran gets Earth Power and Scorching Sands, well, I need every bit of damage I can on my Earth Power to KO their Heatran with my Earth Power. So I'm going to use Earth Power there. But since Pokemon like Groudon stab the Scorching Sands and the Earth Power, since Pokemon like Claydol like stab the Scorching Sands, they don't actually, they're allowed to sacrifice that little bit of damage boost for the potential chance of burn to play a little bit longer game, because they're already getting such a big 1.5 boost from their stab. So I think Scorching Sands on Groudon is actually really nice, and it makes sense. It's a perfect Pokemon. Like, this is the type of Pokemon this move was made to be used for, like a burning fire ground type. You love to see it. So Ho-Oh. Oh my gosh, this is so nice for Ho-Oh. Oh my gosh, they're literally giving Ho-Oh Wing Beat, which is better than Brave Bird. I love Wing Beat on Ho-Oh, just because it can break sashes. For those of you guys who don't know, Ho-Oh is probably one of my favorite restricted mons. I've built a lot of teams around Ho-Oh. Finally, I could have swore it already had Flare Blitz. Pretty sure Ho-Oh already had this move, but it's okay. Mystical Fire is really nice on Ho-Oh. Fire Spin in Scorching Sands are the moves I'm actually looking at. I'm actually really looking at the Fire Spin that I really, really do like. I think it might have already had it, but I remember looking that up before and thinking, like, did Ho-Oh already have Fire Spin? Because my favorite type of way to play Ho-Oh is on a team with, like, Infestation Mons, and this makes, like, Ho-Oh trapping so much easier. You go like, Fire Spin with the Binding Band and, like, Protect, Recover, and maybe, like, a Wing Beat or something like that, and it's actually really, really nice. And the way it works in restricted formats, like, let's say you're using a Pokemon, like, you have your Rayquaza, and, like, I want to trap your Rayquaza. I can go for a Fire Spin or an Infestation or something like that, and I can trap you in there with me, and then I use my teammate to just pick you off. And you actually can never destroy the Ho-Oh because it's the Ho-Oh, and you're really, really good. I've done a lot of content on that in VGC 2019, and it's just a really, really cool way to play Ho-Oh. So, like, I'm really happy to see that, like, it gets these moves. Kyogre getting Heavy Slam. I'm sure Kyogre already had Iron Head, so it doesn't really matter. And Iron Head, like I said, is a little bit better than Heavy Slam and even Gyro Ball, just because you can't Heavy Slam a Maxmon. You can't Heavy Slam a Dynamaxmon because it's weight based. So good to see it gets it, but like in case it needed to go for like a max Steel Spike, but I think it already had Iron Head. All right, so Landorus getting Self Destruct. Well, now Weather Ball, Sand Tomb very similar to the thing I was talking about with the Ho-Oh, And Scorching Sands. Scorching Sands is really cool for the Special Landorus. Again, Special Landorus is probably going to be rocking the big Sheer Forces thanks to the ability patch. But if it's not packing the Sheer Force, if it's packing like a Sand Force, Scorching Sands, pretty nice. I think it's a good addition. You can't give Landorus too much because it'd be too good otherwise. So Lugia is finally getting access to Hurricane without using the event, which I really do like. Other than that, I think it's cool that it gets Skill Shot. I think it's cool that it gets Dual Wing Beat. I don't think it's going to be that value. But yeah, really cool that Lugia actually gets Hurricane without having to use the event. So nice to see. This Pokemon is probably the Pokemon I'm most excited about, and that is Naganadel. So Pin Missile and Endure, not important. Toxic Spikes, right? Toxic Spikes. Breaking Swipes also super nice. But Spikes and Dragon Dance and Dual Wing Beat. For singles, this Pokemon is going to be so much better. I've always talked about how I like using... I'm not a huge fan of hazards in singles. Like, I obviously respect them, but it's not like when you watch my singles content, you know, I'm not one of the guys that likes to lead rocks and then play the game. But having a Pokemon like Naganadel that can go for Toxic Spikes and Spikes, and at the same time, you know, switching to like other Naganadels that are using the same Toxic Spikes, I think it's a really cool way to play. You can go like Toxic Spike, Spikes, Flamethrower, Draco, and that's just a standard, like, super cool set, super viable, and it's really good against a lot of the other things that set the spikes. Like, it's really good against Ferrothorns, it's really good against Skarmories, and it's really good against, like, most things that are using Toxic Spikes, like Toxapex. They don't really want to stay in and eat those Dracos. I think it's just a really, really cool set, and I'm very excited to see it. I'm very, very happy that they gave it both of those hazards for singles. Very, very cool to see. Palkia, what are you getting, Palkia? Break and Swipe again. Alright, that's wrong Pokemon. Yeah, guys, Break and Swipe right here. Body Press, not very important. Scale Shot's okay. Palkia, similar to Dialga, didn't have really any ways to boost its speed. And also it's like a multi-hit move. I guess it's okay, but we'll see if it actually makes an impact. I'm actually a big fan of Scale Shot. You know, I used it in my WBE game last week, and I'm actually a fan of it. If you hit over 3 times, it's just about as good as a Dragon Claw, and it gives you a speed boost, so it's better than you might think. Someone's going to make Scale Shot super busted, and maybe it'll be me, who knows. We're going to the next Pokemon's going to be my favorite, Pheromosa. Yo, we're seeing Close Combat. Really, really good to see Close Combat take the place of High Jump Kick. So Pheromosa not really known for being that defensive anyways, so Close Combat's a great addition there. Skitter Smack's kind of cool, but I am really just happy about the Close Combat. Very good addition to that Pokemon. Rayquaza getting Hydro Pump. I think that is very, very cool because it also gets Meteor Beam. That's kind of dope. And Scale Shot. See, Rayquaza is a great Pokemon for Scale Shot because, like, other Sash Rayquazas were super common. And this could be, like, breaking that and also, like, playing into Rayquaza, getting that speed boost that it needs to check other Rayquazas and things like that. It's actually a really, really cool tech here. But the Hydro Pump, it gets to a point every single year in restricted formats. Now I'm talking a lot about these restricted mons because we're seeing them. But Special Rayquaza gets really popular every year at some point just because someone figures out really cool vest tech where they can go with, like, a mix sweeper Rayquaza. Remember, Rayquaza has the airlock, and then Mega Rayquaza sets the, you know, the super strong winds. So it has, like, double ways of getting rid of, like, the weather from Groudons and Kyogres. And you used to have to run, like, you'd run, like, Overheat, Waterfall, Extreme Speed, Dragon's Ascent on, like, a mixed Rayquaza set. So you could deal with, like, most things. You could still deal with the Ferrothorns, but you could also deal with, like, the Groudons with the Waterfall if you were, like, heavy in investment, or maybe you'd, like, 2-shot it. And then, like, your Dragon's Ascent would be for, like, Kyogres and Xerneases and things like that with Extreme Speed to clean up on, like, a Vest set. But now that it gets Hydro Pump, I actually think that's enough damage on a Special Rayquaza to OHKO most Groudons. So I'm actually really thinking that that's going to be very, very meta. Maybe even earlier on in the season, just because, like, Hydro Pump is so much stronger against a Groudon than like a physical Waterfall. And we're not even talking about going, like, max moves yet. It's like max, we're going to be able to go for big damage as well. So that's really good for Rayquaza. I think Hydro Pump's probably the best move that it's getting. Meteor Beam's kind of cool for the Rayquaza versus Rayquaza rematchup. I wonder if we'll see any Power Herb Rayquazas. I would really like to see that. That'd be dope. And Scale Shot, very cool to see, especially in the rematchup. Alright, Xerneas getting Draining Kiss. I think people are going to use this. Draining Kiss to restore a lot of health. That's actually really nice. There's a lot of physical moves Xerneas always gets. Like, Xerneas gets, like, Close Combat, Mega Horn and stuff. We're seeing Play Rough, Smart Strike. People really want that physical Xerneas, but I think we'll have to wait a little bit more on that one. And we also see Misty Explosion, so that'll be kind of funny if we ever see someone pop off with Xerneas. Xerneas gets a Draining Kiss, though. People might cut the Moonblast for that just to get some health back. So I'm thinking that might actually be meta. I don't know why they're saying Body Slam's super value on Yveltal, but I've always thought Body Slam is a good move. 85 base move, 30% chance to para. Very, very cool move. I don't think it's meta. I think Lash Out's way better as a move that they could have bolded, but that's just my opinion. Lash Out and Dual Wing Beat. Dual Wing Beat especially very, very good on Yveltal, going for those mix sets, so really cool. Zygarde, another perfect example of something that can really benefit from that Scorching Sands, where since you already stabbed that move, you don't really have to worry about like, cutting it for like Earth Power. Scale Shot, great move on this thing as well. So is Skitter Smack. Getting high horsepower again, not having to rely on that Stomping Tantrum. I like this. So good addition to the Zygarde all forms as well. And this is another Pokemon. These are the potentially viable, but those were all the Ubers that were like super viable. And let's talk now about all the rest of these Pokemon. I know that I had to go really in depth talking about all those legendaries, but well, all those Ubers really. But now we can just look at the regular legendaries, right? So Buzzwole here, getting close combat. Good. Actually, let's look at all these moves. Body Slam's pretty good. Close combat's busted. Really replacing, because the fact that Buzzwole only really got superpower, which means if you could wait out the first 2 turns of Buzzwole using like superpower, you'd be able to just wall it out because it was useless. It would give itself attack drops and defense drops every time. Darkest Lair to help with like the Ghost/Dusclops matchup, especially really good versus like Dragapult. High horsepower, not having to rely on the Stomping Tantrum anymore, so you can actually go for a much stronger attack. And then Dual Wing Beat as well. You can go for Speed Boost if you want. You can also use Dual Wing Beat to help check other Buzzwoles. Remember, Buzzwole's 4 times weak to flying. Dual Wing Beat is an amazing addition there. But yeah, close combat is huge on this thing. I know you're lowering your defenses, but you're not lowering your offenses, which means the way that we used to actually play to beat Buzzwole isn't going to work anymore. You're going to need to bring a little bit more to the table to beat the Buzzwoles than a bulky wall now, which is pretty nice. It used to be just like, oh, cool, they're going to use Buzzwole. I'll just switch up my Porygon 2 with my Cresselia. They'll go for 1 superpower. I can then even switch back in my Porygon 2 because now that you've got the attack drop, you're not a problem. And yeah, I guess close combat really invalidates that whole strat from existing. So really cool that they added close combat there. Very big buffs to this Pokemon just through adding a couple moves. Celesteela is getting Body Slam. I do like that. Celesteela getting Cosmic Power is actually pretty nutty. Same thing with it also getting Grassy Glide, Steel Roller, and Mega Horn. Steel Roller is going to be pretty good on this Pokemon, I think, because every team's going to have Tapus in it. So Steel Roller is just going to actually come out, one-shot their Tapu because it's super effective against all of them but Feeny. And then you just take away their terrain. Like, why is this not... Why is this not the most, like, bolded move? This is the best move. I was talking about, like, things I'm really excited about. I'm really just seeing this for the first time. Steel Roller is the best move that this... Steel Roller, that's that move, right? Like, that's the new move that's like a 130 base move or whatever and just, like, destroys the terrain. Oh, that's nutty. That's way too nutty. And then you get a Beast Boost proc on top of it. Like, way too good. Yeah, I'm digging that. That's very good. You can even use your own terrains to do that. That's so good. Let's see, though. What does Cresselia get? Power Swap's pretty cool. Guard Swap, pretty cool. Cosmic Power. Again, giving Cosmic Power to these things is scary just because they have recovery moves. Celesteela gets Leech Seed, but Cresselia just gets straight up Moonlight, so that is very scary. I would say Calm Mind's still better on Cresselia, though, so it's not that big of a deal. Expanding Force on this thing's actually really nice, too. Expanding Force is pretty cool just because, I mean, it's Levitator, but it's still pretty cool. Let's see Dragonite. Dragonite's got some pretty cool moves. Hydro Pump, I think it already had that from previous gens. It's just getting it as a tutor move. Dual Wing Beat and Scale Shot are both really nice. Scale Shots, especially for other Dragonites, you can use the first hit of the Scale Shot to break the multi-scale, and then since you don't have the multi-scale proc, you just go bam, bam, bam. Dragonite's biggest drawback is the fact that its speed is not that great. It's only base 80, so Scale Shot's a really good move on there. Dual Wing Beat's really good. It finally has that big physical stab on the flying side, so Dual Wing Beat's being shown as a really good move. You know, as the addition of an Isle Armor move tutor move, I'm really liking it. So, yeah, Dual Wing Beat, Dragonite, good buffs. Kabutops getting Rock Blast, I like it. Leech Life, I already had that from Let's Go, and I've played a lot with Leech Life. Kabutops is actually really nice. And the Meteor Beam, don't think we'll really see that much, but it's cool to see the Leech Life finally, like, carry over from Let's Go. It's cool to see Let's Go have an actual effect on this game, so I like that. So we see Kartana, Solar Blade, not going to be as important as you might think, and Grassy Glide is huge on this Pokemon. It can set its own terrain by Dynamaxing, and then after those three turns, just even more priority speed base 70. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is super nice. So you're going to probably see Grassy Glide a lot on this guy. We're seeing Nihilego. Corrosive Gas is actually a really cool ability that I was using with, move that I was using with Weezing a little bit. And I do like this. So I think it's actually really nice. It can take away Evilites and stuff like that. Taking away Xerneas's Power Herbs and other stuff like that. So I think it's actually really cool to see. And then Meteor Beam is also super cool. You can use a Power Herb Nihilego, which would be really cool. So we might actually see some Power Herb Nihilego. That'd be really nice. Omastar finally getting some physical water attacks. So really nice to see if you want to go for a Shell Smash, one of those in the singles. Salamence, similar to Dragonite, getting Dual Wing Beat and Scale Shot. I like it. And the Hurricane. It's about time. Special Sally about to be popping off, literally. I'm excited for that. That's really good. All right, this is the Pokemon that most of you guys are going to say you're excited to see. Heavy Slam, Heat Crash, High Horsepower, Body Press. Body Press Stakataka. Also still gets the Steel Roller. I'm more excited for Steel Roller. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's just like way too good. And Meteor Beam. Meteor Beam is actually stabbed as well, so Power Herb on this guy might be super nice if you want to go with a special one, which I don't recommend. Yeah, Body Press, a lot of people are excited for that because you can boost your defense through the use of its Beast Boost. And then Body Press also is like a check to itself. It's a Steel Rock type, so it's 4 times... weak to the Body Press, and you're able to go for like, big fighting attacks into it with itself. So a lot of people are really excited about that. I think it's okay. Stakataka is not really my style, but I do think like a really cool Stakataka moveset I might want to use is like if I'm using a lot of Tapus and I don't want to like deal with like Tapus versus Staka, I could go like Trick Room, Imprison, Body Press, Gyro Ball, because the Stakatakas will run Gyro Ball to beat the Tapus, the Stakatakas will run Body Press to stop other Stakatakas, and like my Stakataka can imprison their Stakataka to imprison their Body Press and their Gyro Ball and their Trick Room, and it's super nice. So because like you can build teams with a Stakataka now that are I think this thing does get imprisoned, by the way. I'm pretty sure it does. Most these Tapus actually, not Tapus, most of the Ultra Beasts actually get it. They can actually just beat like other things. You can build like, I can go like Stakataka T-Tar and be like, cool, I'm gonna Body Press you with my Staka, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna imprison your own Body Press. And so I can have like a weakness to Body Press just by this Pokemon getting this move. And for some reason, if it doesn't get imprisoned, well, that same thing applies to like other Pokemon. Just run Body Press on something. Just run Imprison Body Press on something else, but Stakataka can make more use of it than most. So let's see, Tapu is actually getting a lot of buffs. Holy moly, look at this. Bullet Seed is actually kind of nice, but Close Combat, right? Close Combat, finally a stabbed fairy move, Darkest Lariat, High Horsepower. High Horsepower is actually really nice here, so you don't have to go for like Earthquakes. Remember, Earthquake and Bulldoze are weakened by the grassy terrain, but High Horsepower is not. It's not all ground moves, it's just those two. And then Grassy Glide as well. So like, move over Rillaboom. This guy has the sauce. Bulu is back. Bulu is back. It gets Misty Explosion too. That is so weird. But Close Combat's absolutely massive on this thing. Great against those Stakatakas that we just talked about. Player finally a stabbed fairy move. You're not just becoming a Woodhammer bot anymore, Bulu. Darkest Lariat in case you do need that. And High Horsepower getting added so you can actually deal with like Heatrans. I mean, you already have Close Combat now, but like High Horsepower is pretty nice. And then the Grassy Glide to top it all off because you're already setting Grass Trade. They're buffing Bulu. I like it. I like to see it. Alright, Tapu Fini. Draining Kiss, pretty nice. Flip Turn's kind of meh. I don't think that's going to be that value. Most of the time you just switch it. It's a physical move, so it's not really that great. And the Misty Explosion, I don't think people are going to use Misty Explosion Fini. I really don't think they're going to use Misty Explosion Fini, but like, if they do, more power to them. That'll be hilarious. I'll probably do it once. I'm looking at Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko also getting Close Combat, also getting a stabbed physical fairy attack. But the number one thing you got to look out for is, I know everyone's like, yes, Tapu Koko physical. These. It's those two that we really have to watch out for. Trade Pulse is actually going to be pretty nice on Koko. Just because like Koko can then use like Psychic attacks, Grass attacks, other Fairy attacks because of the Fini. Trade Pulse is actually going to be pretty good on Koko, believe it or not. But Rising Voltage is going to be absolutely massive on this Pokemon. I think this is going to be super, super, super meta. You guys everyone underestimates the amount of damage that Rising Voltage does. It is so stupid how much damage this thing does. The best way I can explain it is like this is going to be doing more damage than like what Specs Thunderbolt Kokos were doing in previous formats. And it's not effective by Intimidate. All you need your terrain, and you just dumpster something. And then you could Specs it or Orbit or do whatever you want with it here and just absolutely tear things apart. Like this is going to be a move that's very similar to like Dracovish with Vicious Ren. That just one-shots even like Maxmons from like just, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to just destroy people. Like, everyone's gonna be like, Close Combat, play rough, yeah, Koko. And I'm like, no, this is the one that this is what we use. It's Rising Voltage time. Lily getting some moves. Future Sight's super cool. I'm happy to see that. But again, these two are the ones we really want to look out for. Just because Train Wars are going to be so important for these Pokemon. But Expanding Force, similar to the Koko. Lele's going to be like the best thing ever created. And everyone's like, yeah, but like Indeedee got Expanding Force and it didn't break the game. Indeedee has a lot less special attack than Lele, and I think Lele has much better typing. So, like, what are the things that, while NDD. Dark types? Yeah, you know the thing that like Lele has a stab to resist and deal super effective against too? So it's like Urshifu's not as good versus like Lele as it is versus like NDDs. So I think that like Lele actually has all the tools that it needs. Scarf Lele is also super popular. Expanding Force is just going to melt things. Seriously, you're going to see people using Coco and Lele and just going for rising voltages, expanding forces, and then mixing up and going for terrain pulses when the other respectful terrain is up. So it's really, really nice. Well, it depends on if you see that as nice, right? Thunder's getting rising voltage, busted. Lash Out, busted on the physical Thunder, so note that we're getting the ability patch. All these top boys also getting their ability patch, so you could run like Coco Lele or vice versa with like telepathy too. Those are actually really nice. But physical Thunderous getting a little bit of a buff from the Lash Out. I do like that. Rising voltage in this thing still super nice. I like it. Weather Ball is actually really, really cool on these guys because they are played very heavily. I think all three of them are probably going to get it. Yeah, all three of them got it. So like both, you can see that both the Torns got Weather Ball. I actually really like that. Also like Scary Face. Scary Face is actually a very underrated move, so I'm happy to see that they get it. And yeah, Nasty Plot on Torn T. It's about time. It's about time. Like Thunderous has had Nasty Plot for the longest time. I'm happy to see it. Oh my goodness, is this Zapdos with Weather Ball and Hurricane? Oh my gosh, they're buffing my boy. Zapdos is gonna be so meta, and this is like regular Zapdos. Everyone's really excited for like Galarian Zapdos, but I really think just like regular Kanto Zapdos. It looks like it's not gonna be able to get Roost probably, but like that's fair because Zapdos is just busted. Like moveset back in the day was like Roost, Thunderbolt, Heat Wave. Some people run Protect, some people run Thunder Wave. Super solid mon. Now it gets like a flying stab special move. Very, very cool. Able to go for airstreams. I like this a lot. So really, really cool stuff. Potentially unviable. Absol's getting some moves. Close combat. It's pretty nice. Aerodactyl. I know it's saying like these are unviable, but like Psychic Fangs Aerodactyl is really nice. Dragon Dance Aerodactyl is really nice. Like this totally could have been bolded. That's very, very cool. So is the Wing Beat. Like giving Pokemon that were already almost okay and very unique, like access to their physical stab, which they didn't have. Like I wasn't about to be running Aerial Ace. Like dual Wing Beat Dragon Dance on Aerodactyl. Sign me up. That's super busted. Aggron getting like Crunch, high horsepower. Hydro was kind of cool. That'd be really funny to just like use sturdy Groudon with a weakness policy, clock your Sash on a Lando Earthquake, and then just one-shot them back with a Hydro Pump. That'd be busted. Altair getting Fire Spin. I like that. That's super cool. That's really nice. What does Archeops get? Lash Out, Dual Wing Beat. See, like these things are actually really, really nice still. Armaldo doesn't get that much. Articuno gets Brave Bird. Triple Axle. Ooh, that's really cool. Physical Articuno with like Triple Axle. It's Icicle Spear if you wanted it, even though Triple Axle is better. And Dual Wing Beat, I do like that. Dino gets nothing. Lamau. Body Slam Stab though, pretty nice. Aurorus. So Weather Ball is pretty good. Mudshot to get specialty procs in max modes. I like that. And then Meteor Beam. See, that's actually still pretty nice. Power Aurorus. Watch out. Azelf. All right. Metronome. Yes, always more Metronome users. Encore. That's so sick. I love it. I love it when Pokemon get Encore. Perfect Pokemon to put it on. I'm going to definitely use Azelf with Encore. Blacephalon gets Scorching Sands. Very, very cool to see because I don't even think it got Earth Power before. So now it actually has a Heatran check if you want to respect set. Expanding Force. Bro, why is this not like bolded? Those two moves on this Pokemon, in addition to getting like Encore Mystical Fire, that's so good. This Pokemon is so underrated. Blacephalon just absolutely puts out so much damage. Those are really good buffs for this Pokemon, by the way. Super good. I could have swore it got Solar Beam too, but it might have already had it. Carbink, Body Press. Good buff. Alright, Cakes Bro. Getting Meteor Beam. Not that big. Grassy got on Credilli. Kind of cool. I like that. Power Whip. That's definitely a buff. That's a buff right there. Power Whip. Big buff. I like that. Crobat. Dual Wing Beat. That's what I'm talking about. That's that good stuff. Hurricane if you want to go special. Crunch. I do like that as well. Always more attacks my Crobat. A lot of people like to run like Crobats with like Tailwind, Super Fang, Taunt, and then like some other weird like tech move. I like physical Crobat. I run my Crobats the same way I run a Talonflame a lot of the time. Because Crobat has a higher attack than Talonflame. So you want to go for dual Wing Beats or like Brave Birds or whatever. You hit really hard. You hit really hard. And you throw a Life Orb on there. You do whatever you want. I do like this. So Crobat getting more offensive options. I like to see it. Crynoggle with all these moves. I don't think it's very... It has a much higher special attack. So Triple Axe and Avalanche aren't that big of a buff. Diancie. Mystical Fire Diancie's nice. Always like to see more Metronome users. Ally Switch. It's never going to be used to doubles, but that is cool. And Meteor Beam is going to be very good on this Pokemon in singles with a Power Herb. So that's actually really cool. Evire getting Darkest Lair, it's going to be nice. We actually are going to use some Evire. I know I talked very harshly about it in one of my videos breaking down the returning Pokemon, but Electivire is actually still really, really cool, and we'll use Electivire for sure. Finally, Entei is getting Flare Blitz. I think it actually had Flare Blitz from something other than the event, but whatever. Scorching Sands on Entei in, like, being able to go special mixed is super, super nice. Like, this, giving things checks for Heatran, I'm about that life. I'm about fire types being able to check Heatran now. So, like, Blacephalon and Entei having Heatran checks, I like that. Garchomp, Scale Shot. I think it already got Dragon Dance. Did they give Garchomp Dragon Dance? I could have swore they gave it Dragon Dance. Scorching Stance is cool, but like Scale Shot's actually pretty cool. I could have swore they gave it Dragon Dance in this game. Obviously, it hasn't had it before, but I thought they gave it to it. Maybe they patched that out because that would have been busted. Guzzlord. Lash Out, like that. Heat Crash, kind of cool. Body Press, not amazing on Guzzlord. Cool Pokemon. Heatran, here we go. Body Press. Burning Jealousy. That is sick on Heatran. Scorching Sands, again, you probably want to go with that. You probably want to go with the Earth Power and then Steel Roller. Like, that just sounds way too good. Alright, Jinx. Expanding Force, I do like that. That's nice. Alright, let's see what the Latias get. Dragon Dance, Scale Shot, Wing Beat. Those aren't that great. Mystical Fire's okay. It looks like the only thing they really get is like Mystical Fire Aura Sphere. That's somewhat decent. I do like the Aura Sphere because now it gives Latios, like a Specs Latios, like a almost decent way to like even half think about fighting a T-Tar. So I do like that. And then that looks like all they really get. Magmortar, Burning Jealousy, and Scorching Sands. Yes, those are all four of those moves are really good for Magmortar. We were talking about Magmortar and how it just needed a little bit more tech to be usable. I mean, this might change stuff. This might make it go up a tier in singles just because of those moves are all really good. Mesprit, another Metronome user, another Encore user, and Expanding Force with Nasty Plot. I like that. It's good stuff. Metagross getting Psycho Cut. That's actually really surprising. You used to have to use Zen Headbutt. So I actually think this is a super big buff because like Zen Headbutt missed like all the time. Yeah, I like that. I like Psycho Cut on this thing. Really cool. Moltres getting access to Burning Jealousy, Scorching Sands, and Wing Beat with Mystical Fire. Weather Ball, it's good. It gets Hail now. That's actually also really kind of cool. So good stuff. Good buffs from Moltres. I know Nidokings people like a lot. Scorching Sands. You're already using Earth Power, usually using Sheer Force using this guy, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, high horsepower, secondary ground stab. In case you don't want to like Earthquake your teammate. Same thing, looks like Nidoqueen gets the exact same stuff. Looks like they're okay. Let's see. Eerie Impulse, Raikou, going to be very, very cool. Aura Sphere was an event from Gen 4. Scald on Raikou. Why don't they bold this? Weather Ball was also an event. But like Rising Voltage, Scald. Now you can use Aura Sphere and Weather Ball without having to use the events. These are buffs for Raikou. You'll love to see it. I like the Raikou buffs. It's about time. I was talking about it in that video the other day. There's no reason to use Raikou over Koko. Like, there isn't really a reason. Maybe now you want to. You have access to Weather Ball. You have access to Aura Sphere. Access to Scald. Like, Koko sucks versus, like, Rhyperiors and other ground types. Raikou doesn't have to. So, really, really cool they see Scald on there. So, like, this type of thing that doesn't even make sense. Like, this thing should not know Scald. It's not a fire type. It's not a water type. It's like, it shouldn't get this. But, like, this is Pokemon patch in the game. They're helping Raikou not be completely outcast by other Pokemon that are in its similar slot. Regice getting these two moves aren't that big. Oh, let's talk a lot about this. A lot of people are like, yes, now that Regigigas gets Rest, or I already had Rest, but like, it gets Protect, it can use Protect to block out its 5 turns of Slow Start, and then I will hit hard. Regigigas has like a really bad stat line. It has like 120 in attack. And so you're going to wait 5 turns to get to a 120 attack because its offensive stats and speed are cut in half thanks to Slow Start. It's not like worth it. You could literally just use something that has over 120 base attack and not have to wait 5 turns. It's not actually going to help it a lot. This Pokemon's not going to be very good. The only way to correctly use a Regigigas is to use it for its bulk and go for like Icy Wind, Wide Guard, and make it just like a support Pokemon. And that's just my opinion. But if you guys want to try the Rest, Protect, Thunder Wave Regigigas, go for it. Regirock getting Body Press is pretty cool. I've seen Ashton Cox laddering with this. It's harder than you might think, even though it doesn't stab it. So I'm happy to see that. And Regis, again, they get Body Press, so pretty good. Relicanth, finally some good physical water moves for Relicanth. So that's actually nice. Rock Blast is cool. Scale Shot's super cool. I actually really like that. So you have access to Dragon Attack. So if when you're in max mode, you can actually not suck. This Pokemon is one of the worst Swift Swim users, but it is technically still usable, so good to see. Sceptile getting access to Solar Blade. That's cool. Dragon Dance. I like that. Grassy Glide and Scale Shot. I like Dragon Dance, Scale Shot. That's super cool. These are actually really cool things for Sceptile. A lot of cool tools on the horizon. I love the Dragon Dance. I like that a lot. All right, Spiritomb. Poltergeist. Lash Out. Yes, please. Those are both super good on this Pokemon. All right, Suicune, what we got? Air Slash was an event, so we can go for Airstreams, Pog. Other than that, Helping Hand's actually pretty cool, but that's about it. Swampert gets Lariat, Horsepower, Liquidation Swampert. Yo, Mega Swampert, if it ever comes back, it's going to hit like a truck. We got Tyrantrum here. Close Combat, very, very nice. High Horsepower, nice. Scale Shot, decent on this Pokemon. And Lash Out, actually pretty good on this Pokemon. So Tyrantrum getting a few buffs as well. Similar to Buzzwole, these are just generally, how do I say it? What's the correct word? Like, these just make life easier for Tyrantrum. So, really cool to see. Uxie, I think, probably gets Encore as well. Yep, there's the Encore. I like to see it. Sword Power. Nasty Plot. Good stuff for Uxie. Victini. Encore on Victini. Scorching Sands on Victini. Yo, singles? I like that. That's good stuff. Expanding Force as well. Very, very cool. Mystical Fire. Victini getting some good buffs. Volcanion. I've never really been a big fan of Volcanion. I didn't play a lot of singles in the gen that this was everywhere. It's like a Fire Water Mom with Water Absorb. So it's like you use Volcanion and Heatran and you just never take damage from fire or water attacks. It's really, really nice. Let's see though. Misty Terrain's kind of cool to see. Scorching Sands. So now it has super Heatran checks. Like you can just go for Scorching Sands. If they want to switch in the Heatran, they die. And not that they will be bringing their Heatran to fight the Volcanion, but like they might want to block a fire attack on the Volcanion. The Scorching Sands, like, oh, it's pretty good. Scorching Sands is nice on this Pokemon. It makes sense it would get Scorching Sands, so I do like that. Walrein, our boy. Getting anything good? Body Press. Hydro? Hydro's nice. Swords Dance is kind of cool. I'll use like Swords Dance Ice Shard or something. That'll be fun. And last but not least, we got Xurkitree rocking the Rising Voltage. Similar to Tapu Koko, if you can set that. Xurkitree is pretty much like the Blacephalon equivalent of like electric type Pokemon. So really cool to see Rising Voltage Xurkitree. It's going to hit like an absolute truck and just get so many beast boosts. Going to one-shot so many things. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this list. Let me know what your favorite new moveset addition is. I think that mine might be like the Steel Roller on a lot of these things. I think that's just way crazy. What else did we actually see that was super busted? Blacephalon got a lot of really good buffs. I'm not even like a big fan of Blacephalon, but I think it's like really, really busted. Koko and Lele are just going to tear it up. Bulu got a lot of help. Buzzwole got a lot of help. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. I'll have a link to this actual post so you can see everything about it in the description of this video below. The last thing I actually want to talk about, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm actually in a competition, right? I'm in a competition called the America's Next Top Skater competition. It's done by Braille Skateboarding and a company called Orbit. You can see it right here. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about this. Currently, I'm in the semifinals of this competition, and the contest info is right here. The winner of this thing can get like a lot of money, and it's all done by voting online. There's a ton of people that submitted like clips of them skateboarding. You know, I have a skateboarding channel. I guess I'll link that in the description of this video below. But yeah, it was hard to get into the thing, and then I made it through the first round. I made it through the second round. I made it through the third round. I'm in the semifinals right now, right? And then after that, it's just the finals, right? So semifinals semifinalists will be divided into 5 semifinal groups. Public voting will determine the 5 winners from each semifinal group to advance to the finals. So there's 8 people in every single semifinal group, and currently in my group, I'm 7th. And so the reason I'm talking about all of this is I would like you guys to help me out. This is all done for charity through the First Try Foundation to build skate parks for lesser privileged people that can't have skate parks in their area. And I'm not asking you guys to donate any money. I'm not asking anything like that. All I'm asking is that you go click the link that I'll have in the description and give me 1 free vote. It's completely free. Everyone gets 1 free vote. All these votes get matched by the company that's putting this on Orbit. And I would really, really appreciate it. Right now, I have about 40 votes. And if I can get to 100, that's probably enough to get me into the finals. And I think if I get into the finals, I do have a shot at, you know, being able to be, once you're in the finals, once you're in the top 25, it gets cut down to the top 10. Those top 10 get flown out to the Braille House where they record all this stuff, and they have like a little bit of a competition there, and I would love to go have a chance to do that. I'd love to go be able to learn more about skateboarding, and I would use that as a platform to talk a lot more about Pokemon and show a lot more about Pokemon and what we do on our YouTube channel, our Discords, to a lot more people that might be interested in that stuff. So it would really, really help me and my career as a content creator out if you could click the link, go click this one vote for free button, and you have to make an account. It literally takes like a minute. You can connect with Facebook. They don't use your info for anything weird. You can use it just through an email. You can even vote anonymously. But one free vote, every single vote helps me out so much. And like I said, I'm only asking because I'm currently like 7th and I need to get to the top 5 of my group. So if you guys really want to help me out with this, it would help me out quite a bit. Other than that, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your answer to the question of the day in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.